Hello everyone, hello. We got a bit of a side adventure to do right now where we're going to be talking to Curious Gorge back there as we further our warrior training. There's someone named Ruth that uses your phone number to sign up for far right-wing texts and it annoys the crap out of you. I can understand that. That would be horrible. Curious Gorge would share with you a shocking revelation about his tribe's past. Hello again, my friend. It is quite obvious that you have been anything but idle in your training since last we met. Your progress is heartening to look upon, truly, but it also serves to remind me that each hour I spend poring over ancient texts is an hour not spent honing my skills. I fear my worth on the battlefield is diminishing by the day. Yes, I am certain my studies of the Chronicles will yield something of use. In fact, just last night I discovered how warriors of my tribe came to be shunned by the outside world. Upon witnessing my people's prowess with the axe, the armies of the city-states began to incorporate similar techniques into their own training regimens. These are the self-same techniques that I've been instructing you in, Miro. Ones which call upon the inner beast. The consequences, of course, were dire. Yes, the soldiers became nigh on unstoppable, but they also became wholly uncontrollable. And both friend and foe fell prey to the ensuing carnage. Of course, the heads of the city-state laid the blame of these atrocities solely at the feet of my kind, promptly banning the ancient art and imprisoning anyone suspected of teaching it, or so the chronicles say. Well, I find that hard to grasp. Though it is never that once during my training did my brother hint at this dark history, nor have I ever seen one of my tribe succumb to the rage that the chronicles describe. Could it be that the tales were mere falsehoods? Stories concocted by some long-forgotten enemy who would poison our heritage and befoul our tribe's name? Who in their right mind would seek to sully something so pure, and why would my ancestors simply bow their heads and suffer such ignominy? That my people should be so weak, so utterly bereft of pride, is inexplicable. I refuse to believe it. It matters not if these claims are groundless. If they prompted my tribe's art to fade into obscurity, then the damage has already been done. Well, I for one will not be turning a blind eye to this injustice. If none of my people will give a lie to the stories that have tarnished our reputation, it shall have to be me. But once again I lose faith in myself in the history and forget the present. If you recall, I spoke to you of my former comrade from the Company of Heroes, and the great woolly beast we have been pursuing. The beast remains on the loose, and, to toss upon salt in the woods, the fell creature that appears to be its minions have been wreaking havoc in the innocent residents of Wineport. Were you and I to succeed in quelling the threat, surely the people would see that warriors are no fearsome beasts, but valuable allies. Together, Miro, we will win back our proud name. Now, let us away to Wineport, meet with the capital of the militia. Also, the fact that their name is Ruth is also terrible. Sorry to anybody named Ruth watching. I apologize, I'm not a fan of that name. It is a name that should fade into obscurity and never exist again. Like the name Wilbur. Alright, we got a militia captain who's a caster, it seems. My friends, Wineport is much obliged for your aid. The fiends come relentlessly, and what few able-bodied men we have find themselves hopefully overmatched. Indeed, the western gates have been so besieged that they are currently left without any manned defenses. Leave the defense to us, my good man. I will secure the western gate. Miro, you defend the town from the east. Together, we will form a bulwark that not a single fiend can penetrate. Once the enemy has been driven back, we return here to back up the captain. Got it, Miro? Okay. We get to go up here and fight enemies now. Enemies abound. Defend the eastern gate from attackers. So predictable. The character you named after you picked up a new sign and took Last Stand as his mythic, so now if his hit point reaches 0 or below, he has 3 turns before he dies. And... oh, we got more. So, if you finish the combat before he dies, does that mean that he lives, or? Executed. Oh, we got more. Nice of them to like wait until the others are dead before attacking us. It means you have like 3 turns to get him to 0 before he actually dies, but it's been a while since you used this one, so you know how it works. Okay, I'm genuinely curious, because D&D mechanics alone are often very confusing, so Pathfinder is something I'm not super familiar with. I know I had well, I say I had a viewer, but I had a friend over in England, actually, who did a lot of Pathfinder. Thank the 12-year save. We have need of your skills yet. I have heard a scream, and I fear one of the beasts might be loose within the village. Come with me. He was just cleaving and hacking birds. You monster! Get away! Get away! What? Monster? But I... Come no closer, Miro! I beg of you. I must return to the falls. Thoughts. Alright. Let's go consult with the militia captain. Whatever has gotten into Curious Gorge. 'Tis true that he fought like a man possessed, but to mistake him for the very beast he hunts, methinks the child's parents have been feeding her a few too many ghost stories for her own good. Worry not, friend. I shall speak to the village and clear up this most unfortunate misunderstanding. Do return to the falls and assure Curious Gorge that Wineport is indebted to him for his aid. That's a man speaking sense right there. I actually don't know what would be closer. Probably still would be closer to just do this. My behemoth small enough to go under here? Yeah, he is. He's fine. I love the beach in this. It's very nice. Very nice. In Dragon Quest X, you can swim in water, certain waters, but if you try to swim in like your armor, your character will get sent to the beach where it'll be like, you can't swim in heavy armor. Put something lighter on. Miro, please forgive me for leaving so abruptly earlier. It was a hasty reaction to a situation to which I was completely unprepared. While both you and I know that I was in complete control of my inner beast, I now realize that to the layman's eye, it may have seemed that, well, the opposite was true. Mayhap it was the very misapprehension that lent weight to the lies which led to my tribe's disgrace. If that is the case, then perhaps I should return once more to the Chronicles and endeavor to reassess their message in light of this discovery. Speaking of light, your soul crystal, Miro. It sparkles. Does the soul of the warrior have aught to reveal to you? Any whispers of import? If only they hadn't forsaken me as they did my brother. Yes, well, I suppose that is that. I must continue my studies and you your training. I hope you have something new for both of us very soon. Until then, my friend. So, we're going to learn Mithril Tempest. So, back when I first leveled Warrior, Mithril Tempest wasn't an ability. This was added in, I think, I want to say Shadowbringers, but it might have been Stormblood. But essentially, before, this ability here, Overpower, used to be a cone in front of you. But now, it also, when you use it and hit something with it, it chains into this. Mithril Tempest. Oh, pretty cool. And it grants Surging Tempest, which increases your damage dealt by 10%. Which is great because single target, you don't get that until you get Storm's Eye. So this is actually still worth using single target for that alone. At least until you get later levels. Okay. So let's end this recording here, as this is the end of the warrior quest. So that's a good side story there.